a very fine referee who will most definitely know exactly what he's doing out here. If the sky stays blue like it is now, we're in for a really interesting battle. The fans are here, the atmosphere is absolutely electric, and we are ready to get down to the real business of fighting for a Brenner Shield.
And the faces we saw, Robbie, this is the last chance for certain players that we've seen. Benoit Payog moving on to Toulon at the end of the season, Guy Radeau, who retires, Ben Nicolas, Mathieu Babio. He will have to lead. You can see how much he enjoys it. They are looking forward to the fight. And as you said, one of these sides is going to march on and become the champion of France, winner of the top 14. And neither side will want to give an inch.
Well, there's some battles. There are definitely some battles tonight. I think when we look at Erda Payeta up against Garbisi, the young Italian, 21 years of age, up against the 36-year-old Argentinian. There's Jean-Baptiste Delissaud, David Darricarrière. They're all, you know, the handshakes and everything. This is what it's all about now. Castres coming into this game and taking, they prepared themselves 30 minutes in Saclay, away from the capital, calmly coming in, ready to try and celebrate with the 40,000 population of Castres. And we're just going to wait another minute before we actually get everything set. The chrono is important for many different reasons. Mr. Trenini, they prepared themselves very calmly, Johnny, and they get themselves into this position where they're ready to lock horns with Montpellier. More pressure on Montpellier, do you think?
Look, I think it's evens. Speaking to the players before the game, they understand this is going to be a real dogfight. They're in with a chip in a chair. They described it as a coin toss before the game. They know how hard it's going to be. We spoke about some of those key battles: Benoit Payog, Santi Arata, Erda Payeta, Garbisi, Serfontaine, Boutitu, Dumora, Boutier. There is class the whole way through both 23s. And again, the prep, it will have been minimal. There is not much to do or tweak or change at this stage of a season. Physically get yourselves right, stick to your guns, and then let it sing in a final.
Castres Olympic, five-time winners, looking for a sixth tonight, and their third in a decade. Benjamin Erda Payeta, the man with the magic wands or the magic foot, call it what you like. He can provide his team with miracles. Montpellier, well, the team that have nearly made it. They don't want to be called the nearly boys anymore. They've been in two finals. This is their third now. Third since their last appearance in the knockout stages. They're ready to go, and they're ready to try and lift that Brenner Shield. The first in their 36 years of existence. That in itself would be good cause for celebration. The arm's gone up, and we are about to get this show on the road. It's time for the top 14, top 14 finale. Castres Olympic up against Montpellier. And the ball safely taken at the back. With Castres Olympic playing in blue, of course, up against Montpellier in white. Here he is, that man, Santiago Arata, Uruguayan international, with the kick that takes the ball up in the air, just behind the defensive line, safely taken at the back, beautifully done. He's a wily player, old Geoffroy Palis, missed the last final because of cruciate knee ligament injuries. He's back and he wants to play his part in this one. Staniforth with his first carry.
Non, c'est couvert. Jouez là!
There he is once again, Arata, high kick, and safely taken. Garbisi responds with one of his own, straight down the middle.
Bleu, stop! 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 C'est bon.
Another kick, comfortably taken, and given to that man, Boutier. And this time, straight into touch.
And the opening exchange is a carbon copy of the semis. A good take by Geoffroy Palis. A decent first carry, but both sides just looking to play territory. Long kicking game.
And this is good from Montpellier, winning the line-out. It's one of their strengths, Johnny, isn't it? The line-out, working their miracles. Garbisi chip over the top, and that's always a little bit of a fumble. There's contact there by Seth Fontaine. They got an advantage, and Castres will want to take advantage of this. Eda Payeta, we're going to go back to the penalty. Well, the tension, and there is a lot of tension, of course, as players get tangled up on the ground. And a bit concerning. And they just need to untangle each other from that situation. This was the original line out. There was one very well there by Van Verberg.
Just undercooked the line out through, and again, Jan Serfontein so good defensively, just mistiming that, sliding up. You can see apologetic straight away. Referee's referring this to the TMO.
But I think what's more concerning is that Benoit Payog, who's actually down on the ground. And it's a back injury. There's some kind of, looks like it's a back injury, watched on by Philippe Saint-André. This is quite concerning. Jean-Baptiste Delasalde.
Just see Van Verberg there following through, looking to clear the situation out. He catches Benoit Payog, the small of his back. Will that be referred as well?
So we're just going straight back for the penalty there, just on the edge of the 22. And Payog back up on his feet. Maybe it was just accidental. Monsieur Traini knows the score. He obviously saw the situation. That's why we didn't go any further than that. And we've got a line out now, which will be taken by that man, Gaëtan Barlow, just inside of the Montpellier half. Montpellier line-outs at 84.1%, with Castres a little bit less than that, 78.5% success rate. But on that occasion, it works well. Arata at the back, waiting to dig and get the ball out to Eda Payeta. No, it just misses Eda Payeta, and straight into the hands of that man, Palis. Look at the way that Staniforth makes himself available. Takes the pass, doesn't really get over the game line. Oh, they're just coming up very quickly here, Montpellier, but there's a knock-on. It's going to be a scrum. It's a bit niggly, Johnny.
Well, it's just really hard ball. Again, you can see the determination, the effort of Staniforth working around the corner. But after an 8-man maul like that, the effort, he needs people to come around the corner with him, come around in 2s and 3s. Otherwise, it's bread and butter defensively for Zach Mercer. You can see after a first line-out, they'll be much happier with that one. Simple ball down the front to Nicholas. Just a little bit disjointed again. Slow ball. Tom Staniforth couldn't do it all by himself. The next phase coming around the corner, a little bit static. The timing not quite right. And the ball knocked on.
The Italian Luced Titi Lamositelli for Montpellier, just receiving a bit of treatment, back up on his feet. Enzo Forletta's his replacement on the bench, who of course had a back injury from the La Rochelle clash in the quarterfinals. Missed the win against UBB. Robert Rogers took his place. We'll see how he gets on. There he is.
One of the biggest characters as well in the Montpellier changing room. Absolutely loved by all. He's a cheeky character.
Scrum time, 3 minutes in. With that man, Santiago Arata. Played in his first Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019. Feeds the ball into the set piece. Off the back, Ben Nicholas, Eda Payeta, it's a good pass. Nkosi picks the ball up, and here he is, just going on a bit of a charge there. Again, the crash ball. Good strong defensive play there from Boutier. Ball comes back out. Ben Nicholas once again hit back by the Montpellier defence. Very strong defence. Ripped out of the hands. Watch out for that man, Arata. Very deadly player, very fast acceleration. That's well played by Staniforth. Eda Payeta. Ball comes out, nicely done. And Castres pushing forward. Babio, good strong tackle by Seth Fontaine, again showing off his defensive prowess. Seth Fontaine. There's Arata Ben Nicholas this time. Going through the motions, Castres, this is what they do well. They love the ball carrying. Straight into the contact zone on this occasion. It is Florent Van Verbeek. The ball comes out to Payeta. Oh, there's a bit of spillage there from Botitu. Picked up there by Benoit Payot. Boutier with a big kick. There's no one back. And the charge is on. Zach Mercer on the charge, but he's not going to get back in time. Oh, that's a dangerous chip. That's not a good chip into the hands of Arthur Vincent. Montpellier in possession. I don't know what he was thinking there. That wasn't the right decision there coming from Palace.
Again, just putting his side under pressure, not at all.
Good hands.
The right decision.
Mercer kicks the ball through. If it doesn't go out, it's going to stay in. There's your try. The first try for Montpellier, Arthur Vincent. Well, he digs deep. Ball stays in play. Scoops it up. Dives over the line. And Montpellier take first blood here in the 6th minute. Here at the Stade de France in his final of the Top 14 2021-2022.
An instant riposte from Montpellier under the caution, their own 22. Urdebeleta takes the ball to the line, but this offload just does not quite stick. The ball is lost in contact. And again, the most dangerous ball in rugby is turnover ball. And at the other end, suicide by Geoffrey Palis. Coughs up the ball. His forward pack is on the back foot. They're exhausted. And what about that for sleight of hand by Benoit Payot? Zach Mercer again. All court number 8. Sticks it on the foot. And first blood to Montpellier. Wonderful piece of skill by Zach Mercer. And just like that, Montpellier take the lead.
Yeah, possibly one of the best acquisitions for Philippe Saint-André, bringing him over from Bath this last season has been quite extraordinary for Zach Mercer. As we see Benoit Payot try and follow up, it just goes wide of the right stick there, so it's going to be 5 points for Montpellier, 0 for Castres in the opening minutes of this Top 14 final.
And it just shows, Robbie, how quickly it can turn. I mean, under pressure, under their sticks, turnover ball, 90 metres later, 7 points to the good. An incredible start for Montpellier.
Kick into the corner, once again picked up by Zach Mercer, the English number 8. 26th game this season. Just gives you an idea of how important he's been for Philippe Saint-André since he joined from Bath. A couple of caps playing for England as well. Well, the ball takes a bounce and it goes out of play. This is a good platform for Castres to try and win one of those lineouts. Gives them a chance to a platform to attack. Nicely done. Urdebeleta into the hands of the dangerous Fijian there, Botitu. Rata again. Nicholas getting involved. Urdebeleta goes over the top this time. Nakosi, got to watch out for the Fijian. Oh, he just spills the ball in contact. Arthur Vincent with a very strong challenge, and then holding the ball on the ground. It's a penalty. Can't make mistakes like that. Montpellier picking up the pieces.
And Montpellier coming out on top in the early exchanges again. Turnover ball. Try at the other end. Again, Castres. Good go forward ball. The vision. The ball over the top is good. The take is perfect. But just again, it's been raining during the day. Humidity potentially, but losing the ball in contact. The first error, then not releasing the ball on the deck. Again, discipline in these types of games, absolutely crucial. Compounding that mistake. And Montpellier just doing enough, but Castres coughing the ball up twice now.
And you've got to underline the importance of this Montpellier team and how meticulous they are. What they've been working on is really to be robust in all of their set pieces. The set pieces work really well. If you actually look at Montpellier, they're the less penalised scrum in the top 14, 1.19 penalties per match. The line-out success rate, 84.1%. It's all very tight and very slick. Good operation and do the basics well. The platform's set for the X-Factor players to do their to strut their stuff as Benoit Payot gets the ball into the hands of Mercer. Serfontaine with the offload, absolutely sublime there, into the hands of Rattez, getting involved. Big charge here coming through from Chalereau, into the hands of Dumaru, Benoit Payot, Payot gets tackled. Just a couple of meters away from the try line, they go again. Good strong tackling, but it's still Montpellier in possession. Big fight on the deck. And the tackler not rolling out of the tackle. Penalised. Penalty for Montpellier. And they got an offset. The try's been awarded. Picked and taken over the top. It's a big score there coming in from that man, Florian Verhaeghe, the former Toulousain. Brilliant score for the 24-year-old lock. And that is 2 tries to 0.
Stop.
Zach Mercer not happy with something. You can see the joy from the Montpellier bench. Come back to check the grounding, but again, the work by Zach Mercer on the gain line, bringing other people into the game, shifting the point of contact, making it hard for Castres to settle. This is just exceptional. There you go, on the gain line, sucks in 2 defenders, offloads. A second offload comes out the back to Geoffrey Dumaru, and the damage is done.
Capitaine.
And this is a wonderful piece of quick thinking. Straight through the heart of the ruck, dots down on the try line.
Okay, so
derrière, j'ai encore un accrochage. La première fois, je vous ai laissé vous rencontrer. Je pense que là, vous n'avez pas compris. Il y a trop de capitaines chez vous, il y a trop de capitaines chez vous. Donc de la discipline. Je ne veux plus entendre votre numéro 2. On l'a vérifié, il était bon. Ça a été vérifié, on a profité du temps mort pour appeler tout le monde.
Well, he's very, again, the word meticulous comes in. Mr. Trenny just saying that Verhaeghe was the last player at the back of the ruck just coming through, so it's a valid, but there are too many captains, too much talking, and he wants discipline.
Exactly, and they also checked the last offload. Mathieu Babiou asking the question, has that one been checked? Yes, try is good. But Castres really self-inflicted. 2 tries down in 10 minutes. Dreadful start, the dream start for Montpellier.
And the extras are good, so this is 12 points to 0. What's done by Rory Cocotte, who knows a little bit about scoring in finals of the top 14. Very important player in the previous years, of course, in the finals that they played. 2013 comes to mind. Absolutely clinical. He managed to score 1 try, but also kick those penalties. Absolutely brilliant. Uda Payeta hobbles to the halfway line to take the restart. Castres 0, Montpellier 12. And there's the kick into the stands.
That's not a good sign if Benji Urdabieta cannot continue. No recognised 10 on the bench. If he goes off, Julien Dumora will slip into the 10 jersey. You can see the bench now looking to make a change already. Yeah. He's asking for more time on the field.
Vivien.
Yeah, it's a good time to go down to Angus, our pitch side reporter. Angus, there's a little bit of movement down there. Can you give us an update of what's happening?
Yeah, they were warming up Antoine Zegda to come on. Not exactly a direct replacement, but as you say, they'll be in real trouble if the Argentine has to go off.
Well, it's a big charge and a big run there coming from Zach Mercer once again. Payot goes blindside into the hands of the big man, Awas. Payot once again, use Mercer as much as possible. He'll get you over the gain line. He is formidable in terms of just carrying the ball and making inroads. They're working very hard. The ball comes out. Excellent play. And it's out into the hands of the wing, Artebato. Oh, the hands. That is sublime. Anthony Boutier, support player. And how about that? Try number 4 this season, but more importantly, a try in the final. 3 tries to 0. And we're not even 12 minutes in. And Castres, well, they're under a lot of pressure now. Montpellier are hungry to go all the way and try and get their hands on that Brenner shield.
What a sumptuous piece of rugby. That was absolutely stunning. Again, Castres not securing their own ball. The rip is good throughout the maul. Zach Mercer again breaking another tackle, leaving Arata for dead. And again, the damage is done. The hole is punched, and Castres on the back foot. And again, the ball out the back. RBC, quick shift upon. You can see the Castres backline biting in, but not together. That creates the overlap. And Arthur Vincent, what about that for a piece of awareness? Anthony Boutier goes over, and Montpellier 3 tries up in 12 minutes. Can Castres find a way back from this? What a start from Montpellier.
The incredible story about Arthur Vincent, 8 months out with ruptured ligaments. He made his comeback just a few weeks ago, and now look at him, such an important player within this Montpellier side, and of course a key player for Fabien Galtier, for the French team as well, when fit. Benoit Préaug looks to extend their advantage to 19 points. This is one-way traffic for Montpellier in the opening 15 minutes of this top 14, top 14 final.
And the quality of the hand catch, Geoffrey Dumarou, Boutier involved, wraps around to follow up on his own pass. And Arthur Vincent, I mean, known for his defensive play, that's his biggest quality, is his defensive reading. What he brings is a 13 today in the 14 jersey. But a lovely piece of skill on the biggest stage.
And it looks like Eder Payeta has gone to the bench, and this is a big blow. This is for Castres Olympic. Situation not looking good. He was hobbling up to take that restart earlier on. Now the change has been made. Zegdar has come on, just as it was mentioned earlier. So Antoine Zegdar. And I'm just trying to think who will slip into that number 10 position. Maybe Geoffrey Palis, maybe. There's Ben Nicholas. Ball comes out into the hands of Hunk Patin. Here they go. And that's Tumora taking the pass. Got a penalty. A little bit of possession here for Castres. They've got to take advantage. Well, it was a wild take. That was from Quentin Valka. And an offside position gives them a chance to actually do something. Now, what do you do in these situations? We're not even 15 minutes in, Johnny, and Castres trailing by 17. Do you kick for the corner or do you go for the points?
Well, you're already chasing a big score. That's the difficult scenario, is that they might look to just feel their way into the game, chip away with 3. You can see David Derricker, backs coach at Castres, asking for the 3. It'll be Julien Dumora that does step up into that 10 jersey. He's very comfortable in that situation as well. But Castres now really with a mountain to climb. They have to chip away at this score and build their confidence, because they will be shell-shocked. You can see Mathieu Babio giving orders under the posts, and he will understand they've just given away too much. They have not been controlled on what they do. They've made it easy for Montpellier, given them turnover ball. And they need to be much more accurate if they're going to contest this final.
Well, the first thing that you've got to do is get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard, and Julien Dumora is the man to try and do that, but it is gone wide, and Castres failed to get their first points. Watched on by Eder Payeta. The deflated look of the Argentinian. But you know what, Johnny? You know Castres just as well as anybody. They'll fight till the very end.
Gritty, determined. There are no stars. That's what we can say about this Castres side. It's a team effort. And Julien Dumora has played in the 10 jersey multiple times this season. Ruda Bayeta, a big loss to a big competitor. But they will fill that space and look to get themselves back in this game as a team.
The high kick, a scramble in the air. Nothing wrong with that. Zegdar going up for it. And Arata digs for it. Gets the ball out. The Crespini. Ben Nicholas, good chance for this to get the ball out. Dumora working well. Charge coming through, this time from Nick de Crespini, the Australian. There's another penalty going for Castres. Oh, spillage out of the hands of that man Van Verbeek, but there's a penalty. Well, they're forcing Montpellier to give away penalties, and that might be some kind of a way of getting into this game is trying to capture the attention of Tuel Trenini so that they actually get a player that goes off for 10 minutes, because it might help them. They're going for the corner this time. And that's what they do. That's what they do.
And they've missed the corner flag.
And that is a big, big miss, isn't it? So, a missed penalty from Dumora and a missed kick into the corner. Scrum for Montpellier.
And again, a really simple error. Just not nailing the detail, whether it's been line-out time, turnover, maul, the transition of ball, turnover. Julian Dumora kicking to the corner, turn the ball over. At the minute, they're just not managing to apply any pressure to this Montpellier side. Losing the ball in contact too easily. They really do need to get their game by the scruff of its neck and test Montpellier.
Well, it's all Montpellier so far. Benoit Payog.
Okay.
You know, just get the impression that Montpellier, they came into the semi-finals, they stayed well away from the radar. I mean, there's a lot of attention on Union Bordeaux-Bègles going into that semi-final. Montpellier didn't get any attention at all. There wasn't a media scrum. It was all about focus and stay away from anything. And all of the attention was on UBB. They went into their semi-final. They managed to win that game, and they got themselves, of course, this place in the final. They're coming into this final and just playing the perfect game so far, Johnny. It's an operation which is already successful, but we're very early on in the game still. The Paeta we saw on the bike. Now, it's a penalty. You can see Montpellier, well, they're celebrating that. Problem in the front row. And everything is working Montpellier's way.
I already heard you 3 times. This is not acceptable. Definitely not. Numéro 9, hors-jeu. 9.
Mr. Trenini just underlining the fact that he doesn't want more than 2 captains on the pitch. Well, that's a fine kick, isn't it, from Garbisi, the Italian international.
Batin on the tight head side, just penalised for coming straight across that scrum. Again, another penalty. They'll really have to work on their discipline.
Line-out goes way over the top. Fontaine takes it clean out of the air. Benoit Payog goes digging. Got to get out of there. Nick de Crespigny falling off his feet and just crashing over the top. They got a penalty pretty much in front of the sticks.
And Castres now, Mathieu Babio, we mentioned him a minute ago, but he really does need to get his players around him now. Must nearly be at 10 penalties already. The ball over the top again, just refusing the contest in the air. The pirouette by Fontaine, absolutely lovely, but you can see both players elbows on the deck, not in a position to contest, off feet. Gerhard Scholli, Castres legend, with Mathias Roland on the right hand of the screen. Look on, worried faces, but just too easy, showing really poor images to the referee. And a very easy shot at 3 for Benoit Payog to extend this lead.
And the kick's good as well, 20 points it is. Well, it's all going as planned, isn't it? Jean-Baptiste Delisle knows a little bit about winning silverware, former Toulouse and French international. He's been around the block a few times and won a couple of Brenner Shields as well, just like his dad. Originally from the La Rochelle region. There's the clearance kick taken up into the hands of Palis as they try and work their magic and produce something. Now, Kosi goes in, tries to drop the ball into the hands of Botito. It's a forward pass. The defence is getting in the way and not allowing him to just get his hands around.
Well, Castres are now setting traps for themselves. This is not how they normally play. They're chasing the game. Normally, never in a million years would they, as a side, run that out of backfield with a full defensive Montpellier line set up to scrag them on the 40-metre line. They're now chasing the game already after 20 minutes.
I think we should go and see, go down to Angus. Angus, what's the state of play with Benjamin Urapayeta? I see him, he's on the bike, now he's walking. Is he going to come back on?
Yeah, he's well, he's certainly trying to do that. He has been exchanging ice. He went on the bike. I saw when they were trying to wrap him up, there's a real indent, a bloody indent on the sort of position between his calf and his shin, and it looks very painful, but he's doing everything he can to try and shake it off.
He just started jogging as well, so he's down, and he's, honestly, if he comes back on, how will he fare?
Well, to be honest with you, he has not looked very comfortable at all. He's looked anguished. He looks like he's just desperate because of the situation. He knows how important he is to this side, and without him, well, to be honest with you, even with him on the pitch, Castres have been in trouble, but they desperately need any kind of Benjamin Urapayeta to try and get them back into this, but I don't think it's any guarantee he'll come back.
We just saw images of Romain Toulet, of course. Oh, what an incredible player he was, one of the key players over the years for Castres in the way that they managed to play under Laurent Travers, Laurent Labi. Wonderful player, still part of the system, of course. We had a little exchange with him earlier before the game. There's the charge from Arthur Vincent. There's Montpellier going out. Garbisi attacking the line. Mercer picks it up, keeps the ball alive. Beautiful hands into the pass into the hands of Doumerou. There's Seth Fontaine. It's a forward pass into the hands of Rattez from Boutier. It won't happen, I'm afraid. The whistle has already blown, but just look how slick the operation is. Johnny, they are just firing. They're firing like it's going out of fashion. They really want this Brenner Shield, I get the impression.
But they're playing with a simplicity and a discipline that is allowing them to dominate that gain line. I mean, the first carry, very simple. Again, the intervention by Geoffrey Police to stop the action, try and get man and ball. Just forces Anthony Boutier under a little bit of pressure. The ball goes forward. But the first carry from Sir Fontaine to get over that gain line. Again, Zach Mercer coming around, causing absolute havoc. The whole pack quick around the corner, eager and doing some damage, and Castres on the back foot again. The 3-on-2 created another try-scoring opportunity for Montpellier. And Castres, Robbie, just not at the races.
You know, it's quite complicated when you lose your leader, you lose more than one leader, you get yourself into a position. You know, it's complicated for them. There's no doubt about it. When you think about players that they, you know, they're not missing too many, in fact, but to lose Urapayeta in the middle of the game, that is a massive blow. It's a team that really rely on those key players to actually get that machine going.
But the danger, and we talked about it before the game, is coming out of your system, trying to problem solve in ones and twos. Stick to your strategy, stick to your guns, play your game. At the minute, discipline has collapsed. They just need to stick together and string some phases together.
They're a bit lucky there. Jamora takes the kick into their hands. There's the clearance kick into the hands of Boutier. Boutier looks at what options does he have. Mercer's going to be there because he's always there. It's a nice little zigzag run. And he takes down a couple of defenders, including Botitu. The ball comes back into the hands of Garbisi. Garbisi weaving between defenders, hits the deck, good tackle. The ball just recycled there by Beconnier. Beconnier, wonderful player, former Mont-de-Marsan player. Kick over the top into the corner. It's taken, and there's a great opportunity here for them to do something. The Fijian Akosi. That's that's Palace into the jaws of the Castres defence and eaten up in a big way. Arato with a big high kick. Boutier takes it. What options has he got? Well, he puts it on that right foot of his and sends it back down into enemy territory. We don't want to play in our own half, he's saying. The response from Julien Dumora is a kick that takes them into the Montpellier half. It's where they want to play. 15 minutes left in the first half. They've got to get themselves on the scoreboard. They've got to find some belief. We know how dangerous Castres are when they believe in themselves. That's all they need, just a little moment to just turn things around. As we can see the staff here for Castres, there was Karen Wahongi, of course. You've got Yannick Caballero, Joe Worsley, along with Broncon and Dara Carrera. Big setup. Staniforth up against Yakuba. Where's it going to go? Well, the challenge, Yakuba. Ben Nicholas gets tangled up with the arm of Yakuba and penalised immediately by Monsieur Trainini.
As you just mentioned, Robbie, Castres needing to work their way into the game, build pressure themselves, but discipline again. The contest by Ben Nicholas, wanting to make an impact, wanting to create a turnover, but just clumsy in the air. Another penalty for Montpellier, another 40-metre gain, and Castres right back to just outside their 22. And at the minute, they just can't catch a break, and the game is very, very easy for Montpellier.
26 minutes into the first half. Line out for Montpellier. It's been thrown in there by Guillaume Garrado. His final match for Montpellier before he hangs up his boots. And there's a player down. The whistle's been blown. There's collision there. Staniforth puts his hand up. And you can see that Garrado's down on the ground. And there's collision. Staniforth just saying, it was an accident. But Garrado not moving, eyes open, which is already a good sign. Let's just have a look at the impact. Yeah, okay, straight into the shoulder of Mathieu Babio.
Again, Guillaume Garrado, one of the best ball carriers in French rugby, as Mathieu Bastaro watches on, former teammates at Toulon.
D'accord, ou après les plaquages, etc. Donc s'il vous plaît, gardez la discipline et la clarté. Ok, merci 13. Ouais.
Just asking Geoffrey Domarou to pass the message. Please stop scragging shirts, holding people back after contacts and collisions. Good to see Garrado back up on his feet.
Appel vidéo.
We're going to refer this to the TMO.
On revoit la situation, un potentiel acte de jeu déloyal du plaqueur bleu sur le numéro 2 blanc.
There's Brandon Paenga-Mosa, the 26-year-old Australian international, who's just warming up just in case he needs to come on, depending on the state of play regarding Guillaume Garrado. We're going to have a look at this. I think he ducked down into the shoulder, to be honest with you. Look at him go down.
Oh, look, it's a horrible image because he's out like a light. And yes, it is shoulder straight ahead, straight on the chin. He is dipping, he's looking to bounce as he goes into a contact, so he does dip his height. But never a nice image, you can see straight on the chin.
Pour moi, j'ai une décision. D'accord. Donc pour moi, le joueur, il y a un contact au niveau de la zone du coup. Par contre, il n'y a pas de jeu déloyal. Le numéro 6 blanc, le numéro 6 bleu est bien baissé sur les appuis. Le joueur blanc se baisse en face.
So there's no illegal play.
Le plaquage, c'est un contact, il n'y a aucun jeu déloyal.
There's a duck by Garrado.
Sur une reprise du jeu.
Babio doesn't move, he doesn't shift. He just goes in for the tackle. The wrap has been made, so there's nothing illegal about this. It is just a knock-on. But the problem is that Garrado will probably have to go off for a little bit of protocol to make sure that, he's okay. So this is where we're going to see a change in the front row. Brandon Paenga-Mosa and a key player. I just hope that these are not the last minutes we see of Guillaume Garrado. It's not the perfect farewell, is it? Let's hope that he comes back out and he passes the tests and he gets to play a few more minutes here in this final. Especially as it's heading, it's in Montpellier's favour at the moment, but obviously things can change because we know how dangerous Castres are. Right, Johnny? You've worn the Castres jersey.
Oh, I have, but this has been a difficult, as a neutral, I've got a foot in both camps, it's been a difficult 26 minutes to watch, knowing the Castres players, knowing how they operate, knowing the coaching staff and what they expect, where their standards are. To be 20-0 down will be really difficult to digest. But it's been self-inflicted, and that's not normally what Castres do. Very good with their detail, disciplined, they play as a team. But the first 25 minutes of this game, all Montpellier.
Zach Mercer off the back of the scrum, the ball spills out, it's been kept in play, it's been knocked forward though, so it will be a scrum. And Castres, these are the little victories that mean a lot. Well, Diego Dominguez, just in the stands, of course, with his wife, that's a nice moment, isn't it?
He's not looking a day older either, is he?
He doesn't age. Crikey. He's kicked a few penalties here in the Stade de France over the years for Stade Francais. Oh my word, what a wonderful player he was. He could probably still run out onto the pitch now, knowing him. Santiago Arrata, second season playing for Castres. He's managed to not just come in to the first team and get some game time, but actually become the #1 scrum half. Good shift of momentum. The ball comes out though into Mora, kicks the ball high down into Montpellier territory. Easily snatched out of the sky, and a big kick there from Boutier, and knocked forward there, and well, it's going to be a scrum.
Le ballon touche le dos du bleu, il part vers l'avant. Le joueur blanc fait en avant. Les bleus.
So it's Yakuba Kamara who actually makes the knock on there. Well, rugby royalty, we always knew it's Johan Huget to the left, and Emile Tamac, of course, father of Romain Tamac. There's the smile. You've got to smile. The camera comes on you. Come on, guys. Legends. French rugby legends. I don't know who's above who, but I might go for Emile, maybe a little bit more.
Might be Roman.
You
never know.
There's Arrata off the back, Ben Nicholas. It's a crash ball there for Villamone Botitu. 34th game in the top 14 for him. It's the clear out. Arrata, Dumora gets the ball out. If he can chuck the ball out wide, Palace, there's an opportunity to take it forward there, but decides not to go for Zegdar. The Uruguayan #9. Played some wonderful rugby in the 2019 Rugby World Cup for Uruguay, up against Wales, up against Australia and Fiji. And they get a penalty there. That's not a bad position. Knock-on was made, you can't pick up the ball. Boutier at fault. And you know what, Castres, Johnny? They'll take the scraps and they'll turn them into something, because that's how they play.
They have to. Again, if you look back to that scrum, first phase, decent quality clear out, but it's the speed of realignment. You can see Montpellier fizzing round the corner to get into position. This is the knock-on. Again, played in offside position. But just everything so far, Montpellier, quicker of thought, quicker of mind, eager, a big desire to get around the corners. Tom Staniforth running into a brick wall, no go forward. And then the rest of the attack is static. This now a really big moment, penalty win, kick to the corner, 10 minutes before half-time. They really need a score.
There's the line out, and it's been won by Montpellier. It looks like the ball's there, Rates, and he's... There it is, it's taken off the back. Brandon Paenga-Amosa, the Australian. Well, how about that? They turn the ball over. Montpellier just at a good moment for Castres Olympic, deep in enemy territory. Not a great pass, but the clearance from Garbisi is so solid. It takes the ball way out of the 22 and just into the other side of the line.
And we saw just moments ago, Ben Nicholas penalised for the exact same penalty. Playing Kamara in there, I think he felt there he'd been played in the air, and that should have been a penalty. But another turnover for Montpellier. Set piece, they've been under a little bit of pressure already, creaking at scrum time. 3 turnovers now, line out time. The set piece just has not functioned for them.
Well, it's scrappy once again. Montpellier picked the ball up with Seb Fontaine. As they pass the ball out at Garbisi, sticking a high one up in the air. Picked up by Palace. Nakosi, the Fijian, running out of space but still staying up on his feet. Halfway line we are. Staniforth, head down and into the Montpellier defence. Arrata. Again, trying to work their magic. This time it's Nick the Crespini. Former Sydney University player. That's good passing, but they're running out of space. They're coming up very quickly, aren't they, the Montpellier defence?
Defensively looking solid. Again, Castres playing through some rugby, multi-phase, all in the wrong area of the field, though, just up to the halfway line.
On va revenir à la première faute. J'attends 4 appuis, c'est la première faute. Et ensuite, il y a une entrée latérale du numéro 7 bleu.
So playing the ball off his feet was the first error, hence the reason that they continued to play. They didn't allow Castres to get the ball out, so penalised for that. It's a penalty opportunity. Tackler not rolling out of the tackle zone. You can go for the sticks, go for 3. Get yourself some points, get rid of that 0.
You see the contest of Béconnier.
Didn't have his hands on the ball.
Again, Castres now chasing 20 points. They've just lost the last 3 lineouts. Change of tactic. They would rather have 5 or 7. But Julien Dumora, who's already missed one, has to step up from 45 metres. Because the lineout is just not functioning.
And this time they get some points. And the blue and white flags of Castres Olympic are being flapped around the stadium. And finally, there's a bit of joy for all of the fans who have come all this way from the Tarn region. And Pierre-Henri Broncon, he doesn't eke out a smile just yet, but he must feel as though it might be a change, a turning point at the end of this first half. Castres 3, Montpellier 20. Ben Nicholas unable to keep hold of the ball. He still stays on the ground. And Montpellier have a line out. But look at that. That was shambolic and disappointing.
And bread and butter stuff for Ben Nicholas. One of the best 8s in the league. Just mistimes that completely. You can see the disappointment, the anger coming through from Pierre-Henri Broncon. Again, the story of the first half, the unforced errors, the collisions, the knock-ons, just not quite sticking for Castres.
Okay. Donc c'est sur les touches pour vous?
The quality and the detail.
Ça marche. Okay. Okay.
I like Tom Staniforth, you know, with his French. That is, you know, he's not afraid, is he? Get in there, get stuck in there. But trying to make his case, trying to defend his cause. The line-out's been taken. Montpellier catch it clean. And at the back, the Australian, Painga Mosa. Caton Barlow trying to get his hands on it. Well, that's hit the deck. That's good work from Babio, but he needs to get out of there now. No illegal collapsing of the ball. That was good work from Babio. He's in the right position. Strong defensive play. Staniforth getting involved. The Crespini as well. Trying to get back out of the tackle. Need to get up. They need to be present. Zach Mercer this time. There's Zach Mercer making the break, trying to get himself through over the gain line. Quick acceleration. The ball into the hands of Serre Fontaine. He drops the ball. Spillage. Should be a scrum for Castres. And, you know, right in front of the Castres Olympic fans, something that they need. These are the little battles that they want to win. They know that if they can chip away like this, okay, the scores, you've got to forget about that for the time being. It might be a way to get into the game.
Wonderful carry again by Zach Mercer, just using a little bit of footwork on that gain line, bust one tackle. Again, always the presence of mind, the skill set, brings the continuity to the game. The knock-on by Serre Fontaine on the gain line, but Montpellier again just showing how to apply pressure. If you can win simple line-out ball, maul, apply pressure, Babio off feet, he has to roll out the way, go forward ball. Zach Mercer wreaking havoc. Fufu Ouedraogo, my old captain at Montpellier. We all know he'd much rather be on the field. Difficult one for him to watch on.
After 18 seasons,
I know,
as a professional.
Incredible.
Only at Montpellier. Only at Montpellier. One of the The marvellous four who came from Pic Saint-Loup, that beautiful area just outside of Montpellier. We got the training grounds in Montpellier, of course, and some fine food down there as well, Johnny.
Vous êtes prêts à engager?
Came through with Louis Picamol, Julien Thomas, François Tranduc.
Et gardez de la distance pour qu'il y ait un impact. En place.
René Bouscatel, of course, the former president of Toulouse, who's now the president of the Ligue Nationale de Rugby, just talking with President Macron. Presidents everywhere, in fact, there. I think we had President Lacroix, of course, of Toulouse. Bernard Laporte, another president. French Rugby Federation. And a scrum in front of the sticks. Got to win this scrum, Cast.
Je passe de côté, le problème est de l'autre. De ce côté, il faut que vous sortiez votre épaule et vous, que vous ne vous préengagiez pas. Sortez l'épaule, pas de préengagement. En place.
Just asking Montpellier.
Allez.
I'll let you talk about the dark arts of the scrummaging. I promise you, that is, you know a little bit more about it than me.
Just asking Lamositelli to make sure his shoulder is out, show properly, and asking Hung Patin not to pre-engage on that side as well.
They can't concede here, Castres Olympic. It's just not possible. If they do, the second half will be very complicated for them. Stability is key. Arata gets it in there. Ben Nicholas. Oh, it's a little bit shaky, and that is a penalty. And it's going against Castres Olympic. And it's all about hooking the ball.
Le ballon n'est pas talonné, votre numéro 8 la ramène avec la main.
And it's Ben Nicholas who actually, he hooked the ball himself illegally. And that is a big blow because they'll just go straight for the sticks, just as you saw the reaction. Tom Whitford with Olivier Azam, and of course Karine Wangi, the scrum coach, obviously looking at the images to understand the interpretation.
But again, it's just pressure in key areas of the game.
Sur la dernière, je vois clairement l'épaule sortie.
Montpellier have squeezed Castres in every area, scrum time, no exception. And Ben Nicholas, we talked about problem solving and correcting things by yourself. He's forced to. His scrum is on the back foot. It's coming back over his head. It can't be hooked because his front was under pressure. He has to problem solve himself. And he reaches in with a hand, which you can't do.
Benoit Payog at the tee, right in front of the sticks. He makes no mistakes, and they extend their lead to 20 points once again. Philippe Saint-André watches on calmly, coolly. Inside of the head of Pierre-Henri Broncard, it must be a little bit fiery. And Rory Cocotte watches on as well, thinking, yeah, we've got a mountain to climb in the second half. There's the kickoff. It's Castres 3, Montpellier 23. And we're into the last minute of the first half of this 2021-2022 Top 14 final. Benoit Payog will get it back to Garbisi, or he'll go for the box. No, they're going to try and keep possession. No need to try and waste the ball when they can just use their forwards and then kick the ball out. This is how confident they are, Johnny.
Just winding the clock down again. Comfortable with ball in hand. 20 seconds to go.
And no real pressure there as Alexandre Becornier and Garbisi, well, and that's the half. And I'm sure that the Castres Olympic players will be quite happy to go into the changing rooms and try and find out what's not working. It's Castres 3, Montpellier 23.
This final, they need to find answers quickly. But it comes back to the simple parts of the game: set piece, the physical elements, the collision area, where you play the game. All wrong in the first half for Castres. And a cruisy first half from Montpellier.
Castres will get the second half underway with Julien Demora playing with the, well, he's playing fly half going into the second half. He has been for half of the first half too, with Payet on the sidelines, injured with that ankle injury. Paolo Garbisi, the Italian fly half, kicks the ball and it gets it out of play. It's taken quickly there by that man, Geoffroy Palis, into the hands of Ben Nicholas. Runs into a Montpellier brick wall. And Santiago Arrata gives the ball to do more high kick over the top. It's taken well. It's a lot better. Staniforth crashing into the Montpellier defence. A charge this time coming from Valka. Some big hits. Dumore unable to do anything. Well, it's good hands with Dumarou getting the ball into this man here. Chaleroux takes the ball forward. Beconnier, sorry. Montpellier again. Payog. Little chip over the top. No, it doesn't happen. There's Boutier. Boutier to Serfontaine. Serfontaine, who runs into a bit of trouble. His name is Botitu. No one going for the pass, and it's been picked up. Got to go for it. That's great work at the breakdown. Quite scrappy, in fact, by Montpellier, Johnny Beattie. But it was all about Castres and what they could have done. Got to be careful here.
No.
And the ref has to interject and send them back another 10 metres. But Castres showing a slightly different face, going to the air. Big contest by Geoffroy Palis. But again, just not quite getting their attack nailed on the edge. The passing quality, the ball going to deck again. Montpellier just showing how dangerous they are from turnover. But they'll be delighted with this. Again, you see the work of Ben Nicholas coming in tandem with Walker. They haven't won many collisions or balls on the deck. It's a big tick in the box, a step in the right direction for them.
And an important player coming on, Louis Jacquet, of course, who's a player who played in that final, of course, in 2018. One of just a few players who are still in this Castres team. And he replaces Van Verberger in the second row. Former Clermont player, 12 seasons with Castres Olympique. Botitu, crash ball into traffic. Arrata, they're trying to do something here. That's not a bad kick. And it just sneaks past Arthur Vincent. Did it take a touch? I don't think it did. It's going to be Montpellier who are pegged back in their own 22. Just look at that from Palis. A wicked bounce. Couldn't control it, no touch. Line out Montpellier.
Again, clearly strategy at half-time. Play the game in the right areas of the field, something they didn't manage first half. Try and stress their line out, nick a turnover in some cheap field position.
It's an important line out for Brandon Payenga-Mosa. Well, it's been taken comfortably there by Verhagen. Payog, Mercer, chop tackle there coming in from Barlow. Barlow, a French international now with 4 caps on Fabien Galtier's radar. There's Payog with the kick, and it's been kept in. Very nicely done there by Nkosi over on that far side. Chip over the top. An option here, and Mercer takes it, but it's offloaded into the hands of Mohamed Hawass. I think his 5th season for Montpellier. Benoit Payog, box kick outside of his 22. Has to stay in play. Anybody chasing? Well, Nkosi's there to just take it perfectly. And Fijian international. Arrata on the edge of the half with Staniforth doing what he does best, Johnny, which is ball carrying, getting over the gain line.
It is, but again, the line speed, you see the work rate, the determination of Camara.
That's a strange decision there with a low cross kick that gets caught up in the traffic and easily picked up. Montpellier in possession. And an opportunity here for Bastien Chaleroux. He's a big colossal lock, isn't he, that takes the ball forward every single time. named as the best player in the Six Nations Under-20s competition in 2012, just to give you an idea of the quality that he has. And he was groomed in Toulouse. Wonderful player indeed. Mark's been made at the back by Boutier, just to calm things down. I think it's a good moment to go down to the pitch side and just get the lay of the land with Angus Turode. Angus, bit of movement down there, or what's the talk of the town?
Well, let's face it, Castres have got to find some way back into this. Tom Staniforth there said at half-time they were going to try to come up with a way of doing that. And the way of doing that is they're going to change the loose head forward, I think, in the next couple of minutes. But at the moment, it's the 15 that started the second half who are trying to get them back into things.
Good opportunity here for them to take the ball forward. Well, here he is, Botitu, trying to keep the ball in play. It's a wild ball that's flung back, dived on by Antoine Zegda, the substitute came on for the Payeta. Staniforth taking the ball forward. He comes up against, well, he's just on fire, isn't he? The way that man, Geoffroy Doumerou, or Doom as they call him, well, he basically stopped Staniforth from getting over the gain line, which is not that easy, to be honest with you. Dumora trying to shuffle and use the fine footwork that he has, unable to find a path through the defence. And again, it's the boot of Arata that kicks the ball down. That's not a bad effort, but hasn't got the length, takes a wicked bounce, and picked up by Garbisi. He doesn't want to play with the ball back in his own half at all. Let's get rid of it straight away. Palace, Staniforth. Bit of upfield blocking there from Montpellier just to stop the cavalry from arriving. Change of direction. An opportunity! This is fantastic play! He's going, he's moving fast. Thomas Kombazou. Survivor from the 2013 final, of course. Trying to make his mark. The scything run, he saw the gap and he ran right through it. That was beautifully done there from the outside centre.
But he's caught every single one of his teammates. They haven't chased. Nobody there to clear. Again in backfield, Montpellier there in numbers. 3 to the contact area, cleanly stripped. And the endeavour is there. Again, that's the first receiver. The blitz defence coming up in the midfield. He's forced to cut back inside. Beats the tackle of Camara. Tries to buy himself time, stay on his feet. But the contest of the backfield, 3 men there. Castres just late to the ruck.
Numéro 8, vous êtes remplacé. Numéro 9, vous êtes remplacé. Numéro 1, vous êtes remplacé également. Vous êtes remplacé. Numéro 13. Si vous êtes toujours le 13, c'est mieux.
Changes galore here for Castres Olympic. Changes in the front row, of course, but also this man here, Jeremy Fernandez. Is he a man who can turn things around? Is he a player who can, well, just create something a little bit different? Replacing that man, Arata, of course. Fernandez for Arata. Staniforth standing up and showing off the leadership skills. De Benedettis comes on. And Quinton Valka, who's coming off. And there's also a change there. It's Thomas Kombazou who's come off. And he shakes his head. Just, I don't know why he did that, whether or not it was, I don't know why I'm going off. I don't know. In any case, the fact is he's going off.
Because he's one of the most competitive blokes you will ever meet. And he will be devastated to leave the field knowing that he's left his side, or part of his effort has resulted in a 20-point deficit. This slightly better again by Castres. We've seen they've been forced to the 5-metre channel on every line out. They don't want to aim for middle or back. They are marked out. Forced to go to the 5-metre channel every time.
The only player who actually played for Montpellier in that defeat to Castres back in 2018, the 29-13 loss is about to come on. Nico van Rensburg, the South African. They get the ball out, Fernandez. It's not taken well, but the ball does still come out. It's an opportunity. Little kick down into the corner in front of the Castres supporters. But there's no advantage there, and they will go back, and Castres get possession in a good field position as well. It's for offside.
And it's not an easy penalty to win either. Again, to construct them all at the front. You get the entire defensive line pummeling into the back of your ribs at 45 degrees. It's not an easy place to be. So a big win for Castres, trying to do something, gain some sort of foothold in this game. You can just see holding onto ball. Montpellier coming through, filtering through from an offside position.
We saw images of Guillaume Garrado, but I don't have any news of whether or not he got through his HIA or not, which would be interesting to find out, or whether or not this is his last game that he's going to play. Rory Cocotte watches on.
I think the big question marks will be around selection. Rory Cocotte not making the semi or the final. Also, no recognised 10 on the bench, so you have this nightmare doomsday scenario where Julian Dumora is forced to step up, but Ben Botica is part of the squad as well. An outstanding 10 on his day.
Definitely. Barlow with the line out. It's taken well. It's nicely taken by de Crespigny, the Australian. Open side flanker. The driving ball, something we haven't seen tonight. It comes in at the start of the second half. And the ball has been picked up by Fernandez. Need to do something with it. Nkosi tries to find a way out. Watch out for him when he goes straight, when he straightens up. Takes out 2 or 3 defenders. It's been picked up, Fernandez. That's a beautiful crash ball. But Barlow's just held up. Met by Payenga-Amosa, the Australian. Fernandez once again, Staniforth, straight into Mercer. Tries to take him out. Oh, they're trying to rip the ball. What options have they got? What options have they got? He's isolated Fernandez. Now he's got support. Keep it tight. Keep it within the forwards. Staniforth this time. This is better from Castres. They're doing what they do best, which is ruffling the feathers of their opponents around the fringes. Short passes. Can they get a try from this? Got the advantage already. Couple more phases and they might find themselves over the try line. Another charge. This time coming from Delaporte. And they might, I don't know if Mr. Trainini's on the verge of putting his hand in his pocket as well there, Johnny. Close, but not close enough.
Big call now for Castres. Again, they've managed to rumble forward at line-out time. Generate some go forward. They've been very effective from this type of play so far this season, the quick tap. We've seen shift plays, wraps, real creativity. Can they execute now on the highest stage?
They got to go for Hung Patan. Straight into that man, Payenga-Amosa. Got the advantage again, offside. Ball comes out, Fernandez. They go on blindside. What options? Batistu! They score the try! They get the try! It's a fantastic score! Look at that! It has been grounded, surely. And Dumora is the man. He did it in 2018. Castres are back in it. What a brilliant score. Change of direction. It's grounded. There's a try. And look at the fans. They are just bouncing now.
And they're going to come back and review the grounding. No try.
That is so close. I think his left arm was basically underneath the ball when it went down.
Going to come back for no arms on a tackle. Payenga-Amosa, former Reds and Wallaby player. Again, the defensive hustle. Zach Mercer to the death, scrapping over the gain line, over the try line, making it hard for Dumora.
Here he goes again, the human steamroller. Hung Patan. Tries to get the support. Driven back quite quickly on that occasion. Staniforth, head down, still on his feet. Up to the 5-metre line. An opportunity here. Here's Delaporte this time. Hit back. Look at this defence from Montpellier. They are on fire. Smashing them back an extra 5-6 metres. De Crespigny taken out on the side. Once again, Fernandez gets his hands on the ball. Charge coming through, this time from Kogaji. Another Fijian, Staniforth. tries to get over the game line, tries to make it available. That's not bad from Bobbio. Bobbio, Fernandez, what options? It's been knocked out of his hands. Is that a legal play from Serfontaine? He's saying I went for the tackle.
En avant sur le plaquage, mêlée.
I think Mr. Trainini was in the best place to actually see what happened there. He called it immediately. Just a knock-on. There's no deliberate knock-on.
What a defensive set by Montpellier. Again, meeting the challenge head-on. Some of those collisions, absolutely epic. The body positions. We see Staniforth trying to get himself over the gain line. Bobbio spots a gap. The offload is good, but the flow just doesn't quite come. Again, Serfontaine, a big moment, stops the play. But some of the tackles we saw a moment earlier from Dumaru, absolutely smashing Baptiste Delaporte on the gain line.
Well, we got a change, of course. Levan Chilacheva, Georgian, 55 caps, wonderful player, of course, and spent 3 seasons playing for Montpellier. He's come on to replace Hung Patan. I think he needs a bit of a breather. We're going to go down and join Angus Turode. I can see Guillaume Garrado there. He's getting hugs. I get the impression, Angus, that he might not have passed his HIA, but he's basically down there just to stir up the troops and get them ready. I don't know if he's going to come back on or not. Have you got any news for us from that?
No, it doesn't look like he is going to come on. And Benjamin de Paletta as well has also come back out from the changing room, and he's not coming on either. That's what we thought in the first half. He's now watching, and they're going to have to do it the hard way, aren't they, really? They are trying to dig in. They're doing it the Castres way. They're looking much better on the front foot in the second half than in the first half. And there is some hope, but who knows?
Short passes around the fringes, you know, use those forwards. We talked about it at half-time, Johnny. It's they're very pragmatic in their approach. When you go to Castres, you know they're not going to create all of these very detailed and technical strategies of how to go through 6 phases before they actually get the ball over the line. They know that the simplicity of rugby can create a great foundation to go far. Proof is they're here.
And that's it, both sides of the ball. Castres, incredibly direct, one-pass stuff, but Montpellier is the easiest type of rugby to defend against. Much better scrum. You can see the impact of Chilacheva.
And a penalty now. Is this going to be a yellow card soon? Because there's a little bit of frustration that nothing's happened just yet, but it might be the final straw before. And there's, of course, Pierre-Henri Broncon. Yeah, I go for the scrum. Of course, that's what we do that really well. You know, we rile our opponents, and they're putting themselves in that good position where if the ball comes out and they play the wide ball, go through the phases, there's a chance that they will get hit by a very strong defensive game that's been put in place by Philippe Saint-André and the Montpellier team. If they go short ball around the set pieces, that's where they're going to get over the game line.
And also, from that point of view, Castres with nearly 60% of possession in the second half. Can they make that pay?
13 minutes into the second half, Montpellier leading 23-3. Castres Olympic with a mountain to climb. Off the back, into the hands of Kokaji. The Fijian wasn't held down on the ground, but that is brilliant play indeed, to get his hands on the ball, and Yakuba Kamara produces a legendary piece of play there.
But I just cannot fathom where the Castres support players are. Where are your cleaners? You've got the call, you've got the upper hand, you've got a scrum that is on the front foot for the first time in the game. You're in the red zone, you know how important this is. And Yakuba Kamara has 3 seconds to get there, compete for ball before anybody touches him. Just a little bit disjointed. Again, it was Baptiste Delaporte that bursts off the back, half forces an offload. Kosaji takes the ball on the back foot. Just not quite clicking for Castres in their attacking structures, and another huge turnover for Montpellier.
Zach Mercer takes the ball. Yakuba Camara clean in the line out. Benoit Payog. Benoit Payog, 14th season playing for Montpellier. Castres need to try and work as a team. Staniforth has the ball there, he'll take it forward, but he runs into trouble. One of them is called Nico van Rensburg. Hard man, forced to try and box kick out of their own half. There's the kick there from Fernandez. Perfectly taken. Once again, Mercer, outstanding in the air, outstanding carrying the ball forward. He's been one of the top players on the pitch tonight. And a drive coming through from Bastien Chaleroux. Benoit Payog, he's doing the right things. Dumora, Seth Fontaine doing what he does best, coming up so quickly. Did it against Romain Bourros, against Union Bordeaux-Bègles, made the turnover. They scored with a try, grounded by Vincent Rattez. Got to roll out of the tackle zone. Mr. Trainini picking up on that quite quickly. Brandon playing Yakuba Camara is the player.
Numéro 7 blanc plaqueur comme ça.
Fontaine again, defensively, he's been top class. Staniforth has toiled the amount of balls he's carried to try and generate front foot ball.
Fernandez, Kokaji. Again, Mercer getting involved. Staniforth doing what he does best. Change of direction, change of flank. This is Dumora. Oh, it's a very good pass there. Oh, you got to get your hands off the ball. Good play from Fernandez. Anybody there to help him? Support players are just not there. Fernandez gets stranded. Yakuba Camara with a tackle. Taken quickly, very quickly. Can he get over? Well, that's great work there. Once again, you can see we're way under Benedetis. Doing so well, but rolling. So close to get himself over and score the try. But individual plays, but they're not working as a team.
But his body language tells us a story. He hasn't celebrated that as he's got up. It looks like he's lost that forward. Could be the second try to be ruled out for Castres in 10 minutes.
Est-ce que le porteur du ballon qui fait un extra rôle, c'est dans une situation dynamique, etc. Et ensuite on regarde. Ouais, exactement.
Well, you know what? Does he lose the ball?
Par contre, j'ai un bandeau arbitrage vidéo dans le stade. Je vois. Attends, là ils ont enlevé.
Can't see anything. Oh.
It's the first question they asked was, is he in a free-flowing situation where he's allowed to take that extra roll, or has he forced it?
No, I think that
it looks like the roll is good, but I think he's lost the ball in contact over the try line. It's just been ripped by Boutier.
I think.
Pour moi, j'ai une décision. Le ballon n'est pas aplati. On ne voit jamais clairement le ballon aplati. Je ne vais pas accorder l'essai. Je vais revenir sur une pénalité.
Mr. Trainini saying, I am not going to award the try. It wasn't grounded. And the possession was lost, but we're going to go back to an original penalty.
Ouais, exactement, c'est ce que j'allais vous demander.
They come back for the initial penalty. That was Momo Huas playing the ball in offside position.
There's one player that we need to mention that we haven't mentioned yet, and his name is Gerard Aprazidze. 2 penalties, long distance, last week in their win over Union Bordeaux-Bègles. Absolutely outstanding. 39 caps for the Lelos, a Georgian player who is really coming on strong, just 24 years of age. A brilliant player, in fact. And highly rated by Paddy Sullivan, the video analyst, of course, for Montpellier. Tom Whitford will talk, for hours. Who's the team manager. And to be perfectly honest with you, he's going to come on in a minute, and great input that he'll have for this Montpellier team. Capelli comes on for Chalareau. And this man comes back on as well, Thomas Combazou, on for Palis. This is an important line out. Here's the carry. What can they do? De Benedetis, is that high? Aprazidze on for Payog. Stanifort, can they get a try? They go charging, they're pushing forward. Didn't manage to ground it the last time. Stanifort, so close. Held back, taken forward again. Has that been grounded by that man, Shilacheva?
T'as quelque chose? Ok, le ballon n'est pas aplati, mais le renvoi d'un but.
And they lose possession, and they're going to kick from the try line because it was held up. So Shilacheva just going over the top. Not the ideal scenario. Rory Cocotte watches on from the stands. The frustration continues.
Again, for a player like Rory, who's so used to being in control of situations, leading from the front, must be incredibly hard to watch on. Castres now with the third try ruled out in 15 minutes.
Good charge coming in from Baptiste Delaporte, 5th season playing for Castres. Fernandez, change of direction. They do that so well, but can they get something from it? Botitu nearly finds the gap. Fernandez. They're trying to milk something there. Fernandez. Botitu. Little kick through. That's nicely done. Botitu can't pick it up. There's a knock on. Yakuba Camara just gets in his way and goes down, holding his side. I think he's injured. Just a little bit frustrated, really, with maybe should have kicked that rather than collected it. There's so much traffic just around him, and including that man, Camara, who has been everywhere tonight.
But again, it comes back to the defensive line. The work of Montpellier, the pressure that Castres are under. Yes, he goes problem solving. But it's a really hard ball to regather. Yakuba Camara, who has been absolutely everywhere defensively. His work rate has been phenomenal tonight. And that man knows 20 minutes to go. He has been in this situation before. They need to find solutions, they need to find them fast.
Angus, can you give us the temperature down on the side of the pitch?
Well, on the Castres side, it's all a little bit resigned at the moment, almost as if they feel like everything's against them at the moment. I mean, those 3 tries that Johnny was talking about have been brought off. They've got to have an effect on you emotionally. I mean, you can keep on going, and if anybody can, this Castres side can. But there's not an awful lot of animation going on the bench. Meanwhile, there's a lot of very good-natured conversation going on the other side, on the Montpellier side.
They're sitting on a cushion, and they're in a good position. This man here, Paeta, goes off midway through the first half, an ankle injury. Tries to fight through the pain to try and persuade his brain that he can come back on. Doesn't happen.
Allez, en place, messieurs.
When you lose one of your magicians, things can go against you. And it wasn't just about that, Johnny. We touched on it earlier. It's the fact that they haven't really been into this game. They haven't been their normal selves. They haven't come into it with the fighting spirit, the nitty-gritty ability to believe in themselves and to say, regardless of what happens, we're going to war together as a unit. We're going to war. Whoever falls, it doesn't matter. We'll still fight for them, and we'll fight until the very end. They've dropped their guard a little bit tonight compared to last weekend.
Those quick-fire scores as well in the first half. Mentally, it was a huge shift in the dynamic, even from the first 10 minutes. And Castres have been chasing this game ever since. And Montpellier now, the game absolutely suiting the rhythm they want to play. They can defend, they can soak, they can turn over. Castres with now 65%, 70% of the possession stats. Over the line 3 times, but not converting any points. And you get the feeling now they have to score now quickly.
But they also have to get possession, and they haven't got possession. And they get a penalty, though. They do. And that's a turnaround. The belief.
Stop.
You know, we've seen games turned around quite quickly during the entire season of the top 14. We've seen 3 tries scored in the space of 20 minutes, Johnny. It's not the rarest thing that we've actually seen in our lives, whether we've been a player or been a commentator, or just a fan. So anything is possible.
And I think for the spectacle of the game, if Castres were to score next, it would give them a lift mentally, it would give the support. You can see the Montpellier fans have been bouncing for 60 minutes. The Castres support absolutely deflated. If they score now, it would be huge.
Paula Nguamo. And look, they're losing possession once again, but they collect it back up. Zach Mercer. The battle from Loic Jacquet. Staniforth just pushed back the other side of the 22. Fernandez, again, you can just see they're fighting valiantly. Get a score, surely! Oh, the kicking game, not perfect on that occasion. Goes out of touch. It's going to be a line-out for Castres.
Another huge defensive save from Montpellier. This time they get to the edge. The offload is good from Dumorat.
Fermez le couloir, Blanc. Blanc qui ferme le couloir.
The second offload was great by Zedgar, but that man again, Anthony Boutier, his defensive reading completely unlocked. The Castres attack again, completely neutralized.
Gabien Gandebis, another player who's come on for Montpellier. Former France under-20s player, that's going to go all the way off, potentially. No, it's been picked up. Dumoura says, no, let's play this.
Bleu.
Big kick on him on that right foot. That's not bad at all.
Bleu.
Big kick on him on that right foot. That's not bad at all, but it's kept in play. And here he goes on a bit of a wander again. Boutier over the halfway line. Opitze does really well. Watch out for this man. He is the real business. Alexandre Beconnier. 1 cap for the French team.
Lâchez! Lâchez 23!
Turnover. Oh, you gotta get out of there. Levan Chilacheva was warned. He didn't heed, and they got a penalty now. And they just put themselves in a bad position there. Got to listen to the referee. You know, sometimes the referees, they give you a chance to actually get out of there. You know, they communicate now a lot more than what they did before. So you've been told, don't leave it, get out of there. You know, and if they don't listen, because sometimes you don't hear when you're actually in the heart of the action, then you get penalised. And the penalty came from that.
Well, in this instance, his communication was perfect. Very clear. Ball carry was good. Chilacheva on ball. But it's the second bite. His hands are on the ground. You can't place your hands on the ground and then compete for the ball at a second attempt. The referee's communication is perfect. He asks him to release 3, 4 times. And Mathieu Babio protests. He has absolutely no reason.
Paulo Garbisi with his first kick tonight, left foot, straight through the middle it goes. And finally we get some more points, and it's Montpellier who extend their lead now. The fans, well, they're going quite hard at it now because they're not far away from victory unless Castres produce a comeback. Andre Pollard replaces Garbisi. And the scores here at the Stade de France for this top 14 final. It's Castres 3, Montpellier 26. Charge from Florian Verhagen, the former Toulousain. Brazitse.
Stop blanc.
Pollard's kick, South African international, wonderful player of course, 74 caps for the Springboks. Just gives you an idea of the quality and the depth that they've got on the bench as Fernandez goes on a bit of a wander this time. The support play is there, but there's a hand. Yeah, there's Dumeru. Just didn't release him. Penalty awarded, kick for the corner, and hopefully they get a platform to try and produce something. Now's the right time to get some points on your scoreboard if you're a Castres player. Off to Leicester at the end of the current season. Pollard. There's the line out. Now, driving maul. Let's see how well organised they are. Roman Centurions or not? Well, first of all, they've still got possession. That's priority. Babio, there's no one there to help him out. Amosa needs to get out of there. And another penalty. Need to be careful, taken quickly. Fernandez, out to Ngoamo, the Tongan. Fernandez, Staniforth deserves to get himself a try. Worked valiantly and courageously throughout this entire season. Fernandez, use the big boys, teleport this time. Knocked back. He's stranded, there's no one there. Nkosi straightens up. Oh, that's a great tackle from the Georgian. Brazitse, Ben Nicholas. Again, the defence of this Montpellier team, just holding everything together. Comes off the foot, it's not a knock-on. Well, I thought it came off the foot, but...
As did I. They're free, very quick on the whistle.
Arrêt du temps, joueur de première ligne au sol.
And you can just see, you know, what it means to these players. Look, Benoit Payog, he is in tears. You know, he missed out. He's missed out. He's played finals. Oh, yeah, he's played finals, but he's also missed out. He didn't make it into the 2018 final, but look at that. Fufu and Benoit Payog, they know that 10 minutes away from the greatest moment in their professional career. And what about this man here?
But these guys are brothers. This is the thing, everything they've been through, the ups and the downs. 18 years for Fufu, professional career. Benoit Payog, ACL injuries, the dark depths of injury, not making it in the top 14, and they're on the cusp, Robbie, of creating history for this club that has never been here and won the tournament, has never been top 14 champions, and that's how much it means to them. Best friends, winning one of the best competitions on the planet, and doing something that nobody has ever done before for this club. It is absolutely huge.
Absolutely huge. Exactly as you said it, Johnny. Look, it's Guillaume Garrado, and this is just magic, isn't it? Yeah, spent 5 seasons playing for Toulon. But he came to that Toulon team at the end of their golden era. So he wasn't part of that, like, sort of, you know, team that was winning, you know, European titles, etc.
And he was part of a monstrous Perpignan side as a youngster. I mean,
amazing.
And as a French captain, but There are very, very few people in professional rugby or our sport that get to go out with a trophy on the shoulders of their teammates. And these fellas absolutely deserve it. The way they've held themselves, the way they've carried themselves through 20 years of professional rugby. Girardeau, Ouedraogo.
But Guillaume Girardeau has already won a top 14 title with USAP back in 2009, 2010, when they beat Clermont. Damien Chouli, etc. They lose the battle in the set piece. And it's away under Benedettis, playing his 50th game tonight for Castres, penalised for collapsing. This is disappointing for the Castres players, but you know what? Did we think that they were going to get to the final 4 weeks before the end of the regular season? I don't know. Everybody was talking about Toulouse. Everybody was talking about Racing. They were talking about Bordeaux. Talking about Montpellier, of course. This is just great, isn't it? Where's the box of tissues, you know? These guys, they've worked so hard. And we're not even 8 minutes away from the final whistle, but they kind of know, don't they? I wouldn't celebrate this early. You know, that's just too early. But Girardeau not coming back on, so obviously the suffering from concussion. Arata. Angus, if we can go down to talk to you, can you? It's like night and day, the two benches, and we're not even, there's still 8 minutes to play.
Well, I mean, where you think where Montpellier have come back from after last season, where they were right down the bottom, and it's been a remarkable turnaround. And even at the end of this season, when things went slightly awry, I mean, they didn't have great form coming in to the last part of the season, still managed to keep up there in first place, then lost first place on the final day to Castres, and they really have turned things around brilliantly, and it's a really good piece of teamwork from them. They came front foot from the beginning. They just did not relinquish the pressure at all, and they've been forcing mistakes out of Castres regularly and at crucial times as well.
It's interesting because you've got all of the players who are either injured or who have not been picked. Paul Valemsi being one of them we spoke to earlier. He was actually running up the stairs quite quickly there. They're all getting themselves ready to get into that position where they're going to pick up the Brenners. That's how confident they are about winning. But let's get back to the game because it's not over yet. And I don't think that it's courteous to not commentate the rest of the game because Castres are still in it and they're still fighting. Arapidze gets the ball out. It's into the hands of Pollard. Here he is taking the ball forward. Hit very hard there by Kombasu. Arapidze, wonderful player. Talking about him being a Georgian international, but honestly, with his first season playing here for Montpellier, he's looking very strong indeed and a great prospect for the future. Here they are, chucking the ball around. Rates scored a beautiful try against Bordeaux in the 7th minute last weekend, all created by that man, Yann Serfontaine, the South African centre. Little chip through there from Ngandebe. Ball comes out into the hands of Arata. He's back on the pitch, kicks the ball, big kick. Decides not to run it. Oh, it's got a bounce and it's been picked up. An opportunity! Botitu in the corner! Go underneath the sticks. No, it doesn't matter. It's a 5-pointer. They'll take whatever they can. Phil Lamoni Botitu. The kick from Arata, scooped up by the Fijian. That's try number 7 this season for the 24-year-old Fijian.
Is that a consolation, Robbie? Again, the first real bounce of the ball that Castres have had. Choosing to keep the ball alive. 5 minutes left, run the ball from deep. Santi Arata, big hook off his left peg. The ball sits up really nicely. The conversion is taken quickly. And Montpellier will take all the time in the world to take this restart. The bounce of the ball setting up perfectly for Boditu. Has the gas to get round Pollard.
Told you there was a little bit more inside of the Castres tank, Johnny. Shouldn't count your chickens. 10 points to 26.
Waiting for the sub.
Well, he's come back on, Bastien Chilleroux. Massive operation on his left knee, got gangrene back in 2014. Absolutely horrible. Thought he was going to lose his leg. They were told that they might have to amputate. Absolutely incredible story. So he plays he lives every single second as if it's his last, and he absolutely loves life. And he says, I'll take on whatever he can because it's a happy scenario indeed. Well, the ball's in the hands of playing Hermosa now.
Just a PK, no worries, fine.
Got a penalty. And Morgan Thomas on as well for Montpellier. It's a high tackle. Babio at fault for the high tackle there.
High tackle, yeah, just... Oh, come on. You're a very bad actor.
Oh, yeah, there's Staniforth, sorry. On that man playing Hermosa. Just using the clock, Johnny, that's all they need to do. The fans, well, the Montpellier fans especially, with the Occitania flags, and well, they know that they're not far away from their first ever Brenner Shield. This extra minutes will take it up to roughly about 77 minutes, and someone who's pretty good at knocking the ball between the sticks, this man here, André Pollard. 29th game for Montpellier, and a final way to cap his stint in France. And it's another 3-pointer. They extend their lead to 19 points. Fufu Wadreogo, made in Montpellier, celebrating another score for Philippe Saint-André's men.
And I guess, Robbie, it's a moment to appreciate some of the men that have made this happen. Philippe Saint-André, he initially came in as a caretaker. Mohamed Al-Trad just said, look, come in for 2, 3, 4 months, I'll find a new coach. But here he is, back to basics, simple rugby, rebuilt the culture of the club. And the old heads, Girardot, Ouedraogo, Payog, Zach Mercer, Camara, Becognier, the back row has been sensational for them this season. And one man that we haven't seen too much of tonight, but consistently, Paolo Garbisi. Somebody that nobody talks about, but André Pollard cannot get a start ahead of him. Each and every single one of them has been exceptional in their own way.
Magical moment there. Rory Cocotte, Guillaume Guirado played for the French national team together, of course. South African-born Cocotte, but picked up a few caps. They respect each other. They played against each other many times. Castres, Toulon. Oh, okay. You know, there's been so many different battles that have taken place between all of these different players, of course.
And so much respect between them. The amount of games, the amount of years they've played against each other, all of these legends now coming to the end of the road.
More! 17, sortez!
Driving Maul into the 22, Montpellier looking to try and hammer in the final, nail in the coffin. They got the advantage.
Les blancs passent au sol, ballon arraché, le 3 bleu fait en avant.
Pierre-Henri Broncon. went over to Bath to recruit players, to find those uncut diamonds. Used that experience and then came back, of course, to France. Now with Castres taking over in 2020 and picking out coaches like Derek Carrier, Joe Worsley, and Caballero, all of these key players that have created Castres, but it's not their night tonight. They have just come up against a team who just wanted a little bit more, maybe a lot more. Fernandez. Outside of the 22 gets caught up. Charge from Goamo. That's a kick, it's spiraled, it's gone way up high. Oh, that's really nicely taken. Look at that from Zegdar. Zegdar kicks the ball through. Who has the legs? Who's got the legs? Well, there's cover. There is indeed. Vincent Rates is the man who gets there first. Pulls there, counter-rucking. Comes out. Oh, I don't believe it. Zach Mercer once again. Crikey. The carries that he's made tonight, he has been hungry. Affamé, as they say in French. And that's it. That's the celebrations. A penalty going against Castres Olympic. The 80 minutes are up and they've done it. Montpellier are winners of the 2021-2022 Top 14 season. The teals will start to flow. The jumping with joy, the celebrations. Montpellier have won their first ever Top 14 final. They lift the Brennus in a few moments' time. After 36 years of existence and playing in their third final, they finally make it. They finally achieve their goal. What a remarkable moment. They've managed to write their page in history, French rugby history. And here at the Stade de France, well, I think that everybody can understand their desire and their will to go all the way. They've had to wait, but this man here celebrates his first French piece of silverware, and it means the world to him, his staff, the players, the club, the president, and everybody involved, right through to the kit man. The fans, well, they can't contain themselves. They are celebrating. I don't think they realise what they've done just yet, but it'll sink in over the next few days. But what a magical moment. Johnny, it's just beautiful to see this, isn't it? It's also sad to see the other side. You're on the fence, it's a difficult one for you.
Hey, look, it's the nature of professional sport. I've got friends in both camps. Yes, it's cruel, but sport is absolutely wonderful. And what it gives, you see the Montpellier fans in the stadium, a town that has volleyball, handball, football, professional rugby. But this is historic for the town, for these players.